I was in the library this morning doing a bit of work, and what I found was that I spent about an hour being what I would regard as reasonably unproductive. And I kind of thought to myself, what am I doing? I've got all these things I need to do. I didn't have a list. I wasn't working off a plan for the day. I sat down this morning with the intention of writing my plan. Sometimes I do it the night before, sometimes I do it in the morning whilst I'm having breakfast or around that sort of time. But I didn't do it this morning. I was distracted by one of the kids, so I blame them. And so there I was in the library feeling rather unproductive. And I was still doing stuff. I was still doing stuff on, this is going to sound really lame, I was doing stuff on Facebook. I don't know, when I say that, it does sound, yeah, that's unproductive. But it's different when you run communities on Facebook and it's a part of what you do. Which is in my case, so don't judge. But even then, even when I'm doing Facebooky stuff, if I don't have a list of things to focus on when I'm on there, like posts I've got to put up and engagement that I want to do when I'm in the groups, then it still does feel rather unstructured. And it's the structure that I really, really like. So anyway, I spent this hour or so doing that. I think, this is ridiculous, George. You need to get a grip here and do something a bit more productive. I was thinking I've got a whole heap of things I could do with the speaking goal and contacts that need to be made and other stuff as well, not just the speaking, but all the other goals I have with my online program Boost and my coaching clients and all those sorts of things. Yet I wasn't doing them. And I realized actually whenever, this is something I also need to get a handle on, whenever I do something like have a really full-on day over the weekend, I know it was Friday when I had my talk and the Plankathon flash mob and all those things, but I always find that coming back into things on the Monday, unless I have a really, really solid and structured plan, then this is exactly what happens. And rather than freaking out about it and beating myself up about it, I just thought, you know what? I'm really pleased with the way Friday went. I had a great weekend. Didn't do any work, obviously, because it was all family stuff. Well, not obviously, but it was his family kind of stuff. Apart from a little bit of note making yesterday, as I talked about in the video. So I just need to allow myself to have a few hours this morning, Monday morning, just to get back into things and to faff and to procrastinate and to monkey about on Facebook with communities and those good things and not worry about it. And so I didn't. And having said that, actually, I just kind of had this moment there when I was just doing that last, I think those last few seconds. I did actually still manage to get a fair bit done, even though I didn't feel like I was being very structured. This definitely isn't the best way for me to work. I need to work off a list. I need to have a plan. Then I'm just like, I feel like I'm a machine when I've got a plan. I could just drill into it and I'm unstoppable. That's certainly how I feel. But if I were to write down all of the things that I did this morning, it's still not a bad haul. It's like I did a video for my group, for Boost, which is my private online coaching group. I did a video for them. I did another big post in there. We're having a big focus on goals this week, so I did a big post on that. I wrote 2 blog posts for the website, bygeorgeanderson.com. Go check it out. Have a look at the blog. There's my proof. I did both those posts this morning. One was about the talk. One was about the Plankathon flash mob. 2 separate posts. Got all the photographs through from the Plankathon as well. The flash mob it looks really good. So we had a professional photographer down, so he sent all those photos through. And I fired off a load of other emails, caught up with Diana about Friday and a couple of other things we have sort of in the mix at the moment. So yeah, I did get loads done. I got loads done this morning, but it didn't feel like that. It felt like I was procrastinating. So maybe that's the lesson to me. I just need to, if I'd had a list of all those things, and I just knocked those things off the list, maybe I'd have felt like I was actually doing something productive. But as it happens, the win for me from this morning was not feeling like I was being productive and not worrying about it either. I felt like I sort of deserved it. But I'm glad that I still managed to get some stuff done. So next up for me then, on Wednesday, I am going into London to, it's kind of like a networking event. I think I've been invited by a friend of mine, Rob Smythe. He used to work for British Military Fitness as I think he was their commercial director. Now he's doing commercial stuff with London Sport, who I don't know that much about, but I know they have this big ambition of turning London into the fittest city on the planet. And they're doing some really good things in the world of workplace well-being as well. So Rob's invited me along to this event on Friday. So I'm going along to that. It's first thing in the morning. It's like 8 o'clock, I think it is. And I'm just going to kind of see who's there and find out a little bit more about what they're doing. I don't really have an agenda for it. I don't really have a goal for it. Rob, he's a good guy. He's got some really good ideas for corporate well-being, and I haven't caught up with him for a while. So hopefully there'll be a chance to speak to him as well at some point. And then I'm off to a meeting with a new speaking engagement client. It's a bit of an odd one because I'm part of my remuneration is I'm going to be kitted out in rather nice suits and shirts and shoes and all the rest of it, because that's what they do. That's not what they do in terms of that's how they pay people, but that's what they do for their business. So I'm going there on Wednesday, straight after this meeting. I managed to combine the two things. And that, because that talk is as they launch their workplace wellbeing program in May. And that's not a kind of a normal way for me to do things, but there's this kind of a good reason for doing it this way, which I'll share at some point in the future. But that's my big focus for the week. And I've got, so I guess I've got a few buns in the oven at the moment. I'm waiting for them to pop out. And I don't know, some of them need chasing. Procrastinated on that this morning. Some of them, hopefully any day now, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, I should get some news back on a couple or three potential speaking engagements that, as I said, are kind of in the mix at the moment, and it could go either way. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that I get an opportunity to do some more speaking next month with these new clients. So I will keep you posted with all of that, and I have about 40 minutes now until I have an actual coaching client in. So no more procrastinating. I've got a couple more bits and bobs to do, including another blog post. I'm on fire today. This is my third blog post of the day. And then I'm on to some proper coaching work before I end the day a little later on. So that's my check-in for today. I will be back again tomorrow with more. Bye for now.